Hey, what's up? How you doing, everyone? It's James here at SwitchWatch, your home for everything Nintendo Switch related. I'm back today with another indie review, and this one is Aces of the Luftwaffe Squadron. The game's been published and developed by Handy Games, and it's their first one on the Nintendo Switch, so I'm super excited to jump into this one. Thank you very much to those guys for giving us this copy for review purposes. As always though, we're going to give you our honest opinions. Is this one any good, and is it worth your hard-earned cash? Let's jump in and find out. Aces of the Luftwaffe Squadron is set at the end of World War II in a fictitious alternative history in which the Germans dispatch an elite UFO and other wacky objects flying force to attack the United States. Luckily, Mark Taylor and his three wingmen are on hand to stand between them and destruction. Full voice acting and whimsical sidekick action brings the typical what-if story to life, and whilst no Oscars are going to be won in this shoot-'em-up, it does a good enough job of keeping you entertained.
What the hell is that thing? Are you doing any sci-fi movies here? It's an ace. What?
The voice acting is the audio star here. Throughout the 25 levels set across 5 stages, you and your wingmen crew are chatting and bantering whilst your enemy sounds suitably fiendish, reminding me of Hydra from the Marvel Universe or some other dastardly bunch. As a result, the music takes a back seat here, coming into play during cutscenes and in between the action, more often than during the action. We have an orchestra style here, with strings and drums featuring heavily in moody and epic tracks that suit the tone. Sound effects form the bulk of the audio, and they do not disappoint. Guns sound deep, and explosions all around make you live in constant fear of getting blown up. The game opts for classical shoot-'em-up sprite-based graphics that bring to mind games like Metal Slug, with a slightly cartoony style and bold colours. The cutscenes are either in-game or storyboarded, and these do work rather well, whilst during the action there are projectiles, planes and other carnage all over the place. Whilst these effects and enemies generally look quite good, it is worth pointing out that the bullets all look similar, which can sometimes confuse you and lead you to running into enemy bullets. One slight gripe is the similarity of the ground in each of the stages being generally quite similar, with none particularly standing out. You take control of the lead plane piloted by Mark Taylor and are accompanied by John King, Melissa Monroe and Steve Davis, and together you fly in formation, lending their firepower to yours as you take on waves of enemy fighters as well as ground targets, air mines and massive bosses. Level length is spot on, and the difficulty progresses at a nice pace after an initial easing into the mechanics. The left stick is used to move around, and enemies come at you and fire at you from all angles, and as a result you need to be on the move at all times. You can shoot by holding down B and release your special attack by pressing Y once fully charged, but you must use this attack sparingly as it takes a lot of time to charge up. The game plays out in classic shmup fashion, and there are a few interesting dynamics to keep things fresh. You and your wingmen each have a skill tree that can be levelled by using skill points, which are awarded as a result of levelling up, completing missions and additional tasks. Due to this, you find yourself wanting and needing to replay levels to gain additional skill points and boost up your characters. The upgrades are permanent, and each character has a unique approach. Melissa, for example, has healing and buff style skills to unlock, whilst for example John provides heavy attacking support. Each of your characters, including Mark, each has a debilitating effect that takes them out of the level or reduces their abilities for a bit of time, consequently leading to switching up your normal playstyle to get through this. It seems like a good idea, but in addition to tweaking gameplay, it can be rather annoying, especially when you're playing with your friends. Multiplayer racks up the difficulty a notch. Furthermore, it also increases the number of medals received, increasing your pace of levelling up. Multiplayer was my favourite way to enjoy Aces of the Luftwaffe. Being able to cover more areas of the screen at once opens up cooperative play whilst increasing the risk of death. The number of lives is shared across players, leading to having to protect and help improve your weakest link. Because of the simple control scheme, the game plays well on a single Joy-Con, and getting 4 players together is a blast. On the move, the game plays really well and we experienced no slowdown or any performance issues, and this is the sort of game you can get stuck into on the move. Bosses are extremely memorable, from a flying train that spits out fire and kept me and Juan stuck for an overly long amount of time, to a pair of twins that have different attacks that combine and then split. These battles are a blast and stand out above the generally similar levels in the game. There are some exceptions that include stealth or other objectives, but generally the side missions provide additional challenges and tend not to revolve around shooting down enemies. The game offers 3 difficulty levels, and hard is a nice but manageable step up from normal. The hardest mode is unlocked only on completion of the game and racks up the difficulty. Aces of the Luftwaffe Squadron holds a lot of replay ability due to its difficulty modes and skill tree that has you replaying levels, trying to complete side missions and competing for a high score with yourself. Sadly, there is no online leaderboard or functionality, which is something that I felt would have added to the experience. At $14.99 in the US and £13.49 in the UK, it's quite an expensive indie game, but I do feel it's quite reasonably priced, as it is on the polished side of indie titles, not to mention the replayability on offer when playing with friends, plus being able to play on the move. Aces of the Luftwaffe is a solid shoot 'em up and plays out particularly well in multiplayer or when playing solo on the move. For a first Nintendo Switch game, Handy Games have done a fantastic job in producing a game without many technical hiccups. As a result, if you are in the market for this type of game, you can't go far wrong here. For me then, this is a very solid 7.5 out of 10. If this is your first time here, we'd love it if you stuck around and subscribed for all the latest Switch content. For all of those subscribers already out there, many thanks for continuing to check us out, and you might want to check our written review over on our website. I'll pop a link down below and a card up above. I'm James Romero, this is SwitchWatch. Many thanks and see you soon.